joined today by Julian Munson, Head of Enterprise Zones and Innovation at the new Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership. We're going to discuss some of the opportunities for local business arising from the launch of our Fit for Offshore Renewables programme in the new Anglia region. Following a successful pilot for Scottish SMEs, we're now rolling out the first national programme in the new Anglia region from this month. It's jointly funded by our organisations, ORE Catapult and the new Anglia LEP, and it looks to support the booming local energy supply chain to fuel the growth in offshore renewables in the region. To give a quick overview of the Fit for Offshore Renewable Energy programme, the programme is a business improvement programme aimed at benefiting organisations on a business excellence development programme, not just looking at business excellence, but also supporting sector-specific knowledge in the best interests of securing future work in offshore renewables. Julian, would you be able to give us an overview of how you see the programme benefiting the new Anglia economy?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, so we're really excited by this opportunity to work with the ORE Catapult. The energy sector in Norfolk and Suffolk has a 50-year history, so across oil and gas, offshore renewables, nuclear, and we're really excited to help drive forward the energy sector going forward, particularly focused on offshore renewables and offshore wind in particular. So we see this programme as a way of, I suppose, opening the eyes of local companies about that real potential opportunity for offshore wind. We are very much positioned at the epicentre of the offshore wind market, with some of the largest offshore wind farm developments in the world at the moment taking place off our coast and also in the pipeline. We want to ensure that Norfolk and Suffolk companies are very much in the best possible place to benefit from the commercial opportunities that are coming forward from those offshore wind developments. And it's not just the companies that are in the energy sector already, but it's particularly those ones who are in the wider supply chain that might not realise the real potential opportunity for them to get in a much stronger position to be part of that supply chain going forward. So we see this programme as a way of building confidence, sharing information, building a stronger network within our region to help those businesses plug into that global opportunity.
Excellent, yeah, thank you for that. And with regards to Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult, we've got our different business development hubs across the country, linked to our main assets in Glasgow and Blyth, as well as our National Renewable Energy Centre in Blyth, where we do a lot of our testing and validation, and also our offshore wind turbine demonstrator in Fife, the Labour Mouth turbine. With regards to this initiative with Fit for Offshore Renewable programme and other initiatives that we're going to bring to the New Anglia region, we're going to look to build on those regional strengths, develop additional programmes, look to support SMEs, the supply chain and the energy developers in further developing the offering across the region, building different demonstration sites hopefully, and looking at testing and validation across SME innovative programmes. The Fit for Offshore Renewable programme is really a programme, as I've mentioned before, building on business improvement, and it's looking at those that are already active in the offshore renewable energy space, but also those that are looking to transition in from other sectors. This programme isn't really a sort of a zero to hero programme. It does require some applicable products and services. It does require a demonstrated track history of a proactive intention to transition into offshore renewable energy sector, but essentially it is there to aid the business in improving on the business excellence and the sector knowledge to promote growth for the future. Julian, from the New Anglia LEP side of things, do you feel that there'll be sufficient engagement from across the region and the sectors in this programme?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the awareness raising is a really important part of this, because I think we know our energy sector really well. We've got about 600 businesses in the energy sector already, but this programme, we feel, as you've touched on, is actually very much aimed at those businesses that are not necessarily classed as sort of energy businesses at the moment. So they might be in the engineering manufacturing sector, they might be in the kind of technical component development sector, they might be in ICT digital. There's a whole range of companies that are in a wider supply chain that we feel could benefit from working more broadly with the Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult. But with regards to this specific program, we feel very confident that we can bring forward a number and identify a number of companies in our local supply chain that could really benefit from this support, and actually hand-holding them through a program to get them to a stage where they're in a really strong position to benefit commercially from the future opportunities around offshore wind. We're very fortunate to have a number of centres of excellence in sort of clusters of companies, particularly in engineering and manufacturing, automotive, and we see the opportunity to transfer across into the energy sector through this program as being a really exciting opportunity for them. So we're looking forward to sort of helping them with that process.
Excellent. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is the first program that is being launched nationally following the successful pilot in Scotland. And as Julian mentioned there, we are looking at those companies that aren't predominantly engaged in the energy sector, but are looking to transition in. And this program is developed in line with other Catapult centres, other Catapult initiatives, and is built off the successful Fit for Nuclear program, and still has elements of delivery from the nuclear manufacturing arm of the HVM, High Voltage Manufacturing Catapult Centre. Therefore, I think there's lots of information and experience from the program modules and those delivering those modules. They'll be able to relate and engage with those organisations that are actively pursuing that transition into offshore energy. So I think there'll be lots of benefits there across the region, across the supply chain, to start to link up those sectors and offer a sort of a indigenous or cross-sector mobile supply chain. Okay, so a quick question for you, Julian.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hear from local businesses when they talk about the offshore renewable energy sector? Is the opportunity well understood?
It's a great question. I think obviously those most close to the energy sector generally are aware of what's happening off our coastline. Are they fully aware of the opportunity going forward? Possibly not. There's been a lot of great publicity in the local, regional, national media about the offshore wind sector. And companies do pick up on that, and there's a number of sort of local networking groups of businesses and local chambers of commerce, groups like organisations like the East of England Energy Group, that kind of provide a lot of information sessions about the potential for that sector. But do they really understand? Possibly not. And I do think there's more that we can do to work and collaborate to join up to promote that potential opportunity for those companies. And as I touched on earlier, I think it's those companies that are not necessarily in the energy sector at the moment are the ones that we need to build a stronger relationship with. And I think particularly the engineering manufacturing sector, where there's significant potential for them to cross over into the energy sector. They might not have had much experience in the energy sector in the past, but they might have some products and services that I think could transfer across quite neatly. And so I think it's those ones that we need to try and kind of connect with and really ensure that they understand what the opportunity is. And I think this program is going to go some way to helping with that. And we're really looking forward to being that sort of contact point with the Catapult to make sure that the word spreads, and so they can really see what that potential is.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think making sure that the message is clear and concise, but also outlines the opportunities available to many sectors and many of those organisations within those sectors. And I think also raising the profile of the Catapult network, the different centres within the Catapult network, and how we can link those with those organisations and groups and forums from across the New Anglia region, I think will be very beneficial. I think lots of opportunities are ahead within the region from an offshore energy point of view. There's lots of projects consented and in the pipeline that is going to require lots of input from the local supply chain, lots of forward thinking, innovation and new technology. And I think there's some good services available through the different websites, the New Anglia LEP website, and the different forums that are engaged locally, but also on the Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult's website, and some links to different challenges and innovation hubs that can be used as the Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult Innovation Hub, as well as the Innovation Exchange websites, which can outline and give lots of information around known challenges to offshore renewable energy currently, and how different organisations can look to meet those challenges and engage in different collaborative projects to overcome some of those challenges. So some good material and resources available there. So Julian, how do you think the Catapult's presence in East Anglia will benefit the region? And do you have any activities underway in this or related sectors you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, thanks, Andy. I mean, we're really pleased that the ORE Catapult has established a base in our region, because I think, you know, as I touched on earlier, we are, you know, really at the epicenter of offshore wind. You know, the investments that are happening off our coast at the moment, and with, you know, around £60 billion worth of capital investment in the pipeline in offshore energy and engineering, you know, we feel that it's really, really important that the Catapult develops a really strong relationship with our local companies. So to have a regional base here is really exciting. We're really pleased with the RE Catapult opening its doors to a regional office in Norfolk and Suffolk to work with our companies. And importantly, I think it also plugs into those wider programs that organisations like New Anglia LEP or the Growth Hub, some of the local organisations are running as well. So it's actually about joining the dots, I think, on some of the business support operations and the business support programs. The New Anglia LEP's involved in a number of business networking groups. So we've got sector groups, we've got industry councils. They're all established to support the growth of local sectors. We've got a range of sectors across Norfolk and Suffolk that drive the economy. But taking engineering and kind of energy sector together, we've got two very, very strong networking groups, and we want to make sure that ORE Catapult is very much plugged into those networking groups, so they're very close to their businesses, and so they can actually see where those potential opportunities are coming from. And then importantly, how we sort of work more closely with those companies to introduce them to others in the local supply chain. The peer-to-peer network is really, really important, I think, and understanding about what the opportunities are coming forward at the right time. And so basically they are kind of supported at the right point in time going forward. And I think, you know, with COVID-19 and the impact, I think it's more important now than ever that we build a stronger relationship with our local businesses and really understand how we can help them through these quite challenging times. And as Andy has touched on, there's a number of big projects in the pipeline. We want to make sure that those companies are sort of very, very in the best possible position to benefit from those investments coming forward.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks, Julian. And I think, as I mentioned before, there's a big emphasis from Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult to continue to work very closely, strategically with the New Anglia LEP, ensure that the different services and opportunities and challenges that are addressed at a national level, strategic national level, are also aligned with the regional deliverables and opportunities that we identify. And also taking that proactive step to ensure that the regions and the clusters across the country are joined up, working together with the other regional clusters, the offshore wind regional clusters, the different hubs across the country from ORE Catapult, linking up with the different sectors, specifically with the Offshore Wind Operations and Maintenance Centre of Excellence, which is shortly going to open up in Grimsby. And also looking at the offshore wind, floating offshore wind centre of excellence, and how the companies from within this region, the supply chain companies, SMEs, can support the challenges, the technology challenges that are going to come from that really important sort of next step to offshore wind when we look at the fixed and floating opportunities. So I think there's a great opportunity from within the region, with, as Julian mentioned, with a long history working across offshore energy through the gas infrastructure, and then linking up with the other sectors around nuclear and solar and biofuels, and taking all of that skills and expertise and looking at how we can create that more fluid, mobile supply chain, cross-sector engagement, and as mentioned before, joining up the dots to boost that UK offering, to hopefully then continue to build on the global presence. Well, I think that's, I haven't got anything else, Julian. Is there anything else you'd like to add at the minute?
No, that's fine. As I say, we're really looking forward to this opportunity. Just wanted to thank the RE Catapult in working with us, and we look forward to kind of supporting some of our local companies here.
Excellent. Well, thanks for talking to me today, Julian. It's been really helpful, really good to discuss the programme and the wider opportunities. If you'd like to hear more about the Fit for Offshore Renewable programme, please visit our websites and keep your eye on social media for other important dates and literature which will identify the next steps in the programme. Thank you.